Agilan, man, appreciate the time coming on the
Yeah,
show.
bro.
Kumite TV, first time, man. It took us a little bit, but we
Yeah,
got
bro.
it
I'm sorry.
done. It's all good, man. I
Uh,
know how it is during the
Fight
camp
week.
and fight
Yeah,
week, but at least we got this one. It's all good.
yeah.
Many more to come in the future. You're still young. You're still growing in the game, and it's good to have you on, man.
Good to be in your show, bro.
Now, the first thing the big news that's coming out this week is Ben Askren. He retired, man. When you heard that, what did you think?
Man, I think it's good, at the end of the day, we are all just prize fighters and we have to move on from the game and find better things to do with our life. And for somebody like Ben who have kids and family, I think he's looking out for that as well. And I don't want to see, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to go out in a much more worse way than this. So I think he made the right decision for himself.
Is there a little piece of you that wanted him to continue fighting so you could get the rematch? Because I feel like you
Nah,
faced him in his prime and you were still a growing fighter at that time. You were still very
yeah.
young.
I will say this, like one thing is for sure, all my losses, sometimes I cannot think of it as a redemption to get back to them, because I gotta move forward and you never know, I'll never get back to them sometimes. And the fight games works very differently. One time you think you got this guy and then another time you don't have that guy anymore. So you gotta look forward to fighting someone else every time and being at your best. That's it.
That Askren fight was your first loss of your career.
Yeah.
How much did it change you as a fighter?
Well, back then when I lost, it didn't change me much. I think I was still young and a little bit stupid. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a bit young and stupid, but much more wiser, I guess, from compared to last time. Yeah, that's about it, I guess.
When
Changed me
you
a little
yeah.
bit, not much.
You started your pro career with one championship,
Yep.
and in 2015, now it's 2018 or 2019 is about to close. In about a month or so. Um,
Yep.
what do you think about the ride you've been on so far? Because you're still very young, and you started so young with the promotion, and how it's grown in the time you've been with them.
Well, I think the promotion has grown leaps and bounds, and it's good for the promotion because from the business side of view, they have to be making money. They should not be at the same scale as they were. And for me, it's different. I have to catch up with them. If not, it's going to be hard for me. Like you can see, I am having a hard time in my division. I'm either fighting the top guys or I'm not fighting anybody who's not even close to the rankings. So this is something that I'm still figuring out. But for promotion wise, I think it's good.
Yeah, well, you've been fighting the best guys for I don't even know how many years now. You've never had an easy
Yeah,
fight. All the guys you faced are either title contenders or champions or big names in the promotion.
true.
Do you sometimes feel like, oh man, how come they don't give me like a guy I could build off of a little bit instead of just giving you these big fights all the time?
Well, it's how do I say? They gave me that opportunity when I first started. I was fighting guys who are similar records as me, but not similar skills as me. And then when I beat Jeff Huang for the first time, and then I called out Ben Askren, and when I fought Ben Askren, I know this is not going to be easy after this, because once you fight Ben, and then there's no way for you to come back down and fight somewhere else. And I'm not hoping for an easy guy anymore, but I'm definitely hoping to fight somebody who is like not there. Like if you look at what I'm doing right now, I'm just fighting champions, ex UFC vets, and all these guys. Instead, I should be fighting like guys who came off a loss in my division, for example, like Tyler or someone like who's not even close to top five. You know what I mean?
Let's go back to the sexy Yama fight. I think a
Oh,
lot of people were underestimating you in that one. A lot of people
yeah.
felt like sexy Yama was he's a big name. He's gonna come in and in many ways dominate you because you're a younger guy, and you went in there
Yeah.
and you took it to Sexyama, man. He took a beating. Um, talk about that fight, man. Talk about stepping in the cage with like he's a legend, of the sport.
Well, going into the fight, I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never confident. I'm coming off two losses against. It doesn't matter who I lost to. It's still a loss, and I'm still a loser. It doesn't matter if I lose to a champion or ex-champion. It's the same. When you lose, and you don't feel good about going into the next bout. And when I went through Akiyama, I was like, oh, this is it. I gotta push the pace. If I go three losses in a row, that's it. I don't know where I'm going to stand. I'm going to end up fighting the lower guys again. I got to show what I'm capable of. And I just went in there, dig deep, and fought, bro. That's it.
When you look at the cage versus the ring, what do you prefer?
I I don't have any preference. I would say that because I think it's pretty much the same. At the end of the day, it's 4 ounce gloves, two guys going at it. No one else is going to come inside and help you in the ring or in the cage. But although I have a little bit of phobia because I lost many times in the cage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the ring, I never lost, so might feel a little bit confident when I'm going into it.
When you started training in the beginning, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you were going the old school way, just toughing
yeah,
it out, getting
yeah.
into training, just training hard. Have you evolved in your training strategies? Have you added more things throughout the years that helps you to kind of not get beat up as much during training camp and maybe help you mentally?
Well, like my if I look at the way I started training, right? At a very young age, I started training very hard, and then at a very young age, I went to America, be sparring partners for so many people that I don't know, and I got my ass like kicked by so many people outside, and now I'm still figuring out where I stand, at the end of the day, and from from what I can say is definitely I have taken a lot of injuries is and definitely I'm still learning from it. I haven't got to a point where like, oh, this is it, this is how I'm going to do it from now on. I'm still figuring out ways. The reason I'm still in monarchy is because I have my coaches here and they are guiding me through things, and we have good guys here to help each other as well. But definitely I have to step up my game and eventually find a better gym where, not to say better gym, a better team, like a pro team, instead of just training in monarchy.
Yeah, Monarch is a great place, man. You have a great team. You have great coaches there.
Yeah,
Outside of that, have you added anything else into your training camp around,
definitely.
Malaysia?
Yeah, like I used to lift weights, but like there was never a structure or like conditioning or like what we do on this days, on that days. Now we have a much more better structure of how we train, weightlifting, how we condition ourselves to constantly keep ourselves at an athlete level instead of just being a fighter.
It's crazy to think that you're only 24 years old. It blows my mind a little bit because I've been watching you fight for so long. It almost seemed like you should be 34 years old.
Yeah, that's it. How do I say? It is something that is my fault as well. Sometimes I never learn how to say no. And if I think carefully, I've been at least fighting 3 or 4 times a year. And it's not been very helpful recently. I've been taking a lot of damage, and I just went through a surgery last year and I came back this year and still fought 3 times. So I think I have to take it slow after this fight, probably.
Getting a little bit more structure around you, like you said, and
Yeah,
kind of planning things out a little bit better. 2020 should be a little bit different for yourself, but you do have this fight coming up on December 6th
yeah,
in your hometown. Fighting in your hometown is, I'm pretty sure you fought there. How many times
many
now is
times.
it now?
All my fights are there. Pretty much only 4 fights. I have 14 fights, and only 4 fights has been outside. The rest of the fights were all in Malaysia, and I've lost 2 times in my home territory and 2 times outside. One was
Does it
Ben, and another one was Yushin.
does it feel any different for you to be fighting at home or outside in another country? Is it all the same?
When it comes to the fighting part, yeah, it's all the same. But before the fighting part, I probably think no, because I have a lot of obligations when I fight in Malaysia. Like I have to do the media promotion and everything. But when I'm fighting in Japan or Shanghai, the promotion, we do like some promotion here, but when we go to fight week, there's nothing else for me to do. There's nothing else I have to do. I just chill and watch the other guys and make weight and fight.
Yeah, that's making that weight. I've talked to a lot of guys talk about the hydration test and things like that. Does that still kind of get you a little bit? Are you used to it, or?
I have been using the weight system since I was 3 and since my third fight in one. And now this is going to be my like 14th fight in one. So I think it's not a big deal anymore. I found ways to make it much more easier on my body, and since now I have a little bit more structure, I don't lose that much weight anymore. So it's much more easier for me.
Do people come up to you and ask you for advice on how to, make the hydration test,
Yeah.
make the weight, properly? I mean, I'm not talking about cheating or anything like that, but I'm saying like, some tips. You gotta. I'm pretty sure, like you said, you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, there is so many ways to make weights. It's not cheating as long as you're not cutting 10 to 20 kilos in a day. 20 kilos not possible, but 10 kilos, But it's not cheating as long as you're hydrated and you just cut like one day before, like 1 kilo, and you're still hydrated. And then it's still healthy and you're still making the weight. And I still ask many people how they do it. And then some people ask me, and I sort of explain to them how I do it too.
All right, the guy that you're gonna face is Karaki. He's a Desert Force double champ.
Champ.
He's a former title challenger. He fought Ong La in his last fight last year. Talk about him and what kind of challenges he poses for you.
Well, okay. Let's say some things about him. He's naturally a grappler, very good grappler, but aggressive, strong, and like you said, double champ in Desert Force. He was the Phoenix champ as well. Phoenix light heavyweight or middleweight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah. He has definitely been in a higher scale compared to me. I am nowhere close to what he has done, but and I'm looking forward to just perform my best against him. That's it, nothing else. He's not someone you can easily be fighting. He fought his first fight with Ang La. Come on, there's no easy fight for nobody. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I believe he is coming off his first professional loss,
Yeah.
and you've lost before, and he's an older guy. I don't think he's too young, is he?
No, it's probably like 28.
Yeah,
I saw
28.
it's like
So
28, 29.
yeah, so he's had some time in the game. Now, the mental struggles of losing and overcoming those things. Do you think getting knocked out in your first fight in the promotion, losing, in a title fight and taking so much time off, he's taken 10 months off. Do you think that all plays a factor in someone's mind as they go into a fight?
I don't know how is he taking his loss, because different people have different ways of handling their own problems. But for me, it was always from the start to get back in there and do what I'm supposed to do, because this is how I live and this is what I do for a living. Nothing. Like, how do I say? Pretty much, if I don't fight, I have nothing else to do. I work in the gym or I fight. That's it. I'm not sure what he does. I'm not sure how is he taking his loss. Maybe he doesn't even feel a loss. And for me, I'm just looking forward for him to come much more hungrier at me, so that way we'll bring it and put on a good show for everyone.
Definitely. He is also dropping down a weight class for this fight, which I'm very interested to see if he does make weight, if he does get past the hydration test in this one coming up, because not many guys usually drop down in one championship. It doesn't really happen quite often.
It's true, but like, how do I say? He fought a middleweight before.
Hmm.
If he can cut to 83.9, not sure how he used to do it, but if he can make 83.9 hydrated, he should be good in fight to go. And if he can't make it, and then eventually we got to see what one has in store for me. It's either like a catchweight bout or something. I'm ready to go. I don't mind. Just don't come 10 kilos over. I'll be fine with that.
All
If you
right.
come like 90 or 80 kilos, like 95 kilos, I'm not going to accept it. But if you come 86, 87, I'm cool with that. I can still fight at that weight, you know. I walk around 89, 80, 88. So when I fight, it's like, don't get me wrong, I used to cut from 97 to 83, but now I walk around lighter. I just used to be fat. I don't know how he is though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wonder, like, what happens actually if someone doesn't pass the hydration test, and people speculated that yeah, they do usually just do a catchweight fight. And it seems like that's what they do. If the opponent agrees, then that's what happens.
Yeah, usually if the person you're fighting agrees with having a catchweight bout, and then it should be all fine, you know. And I think I'll be fine with it if they want to catch weight, but I'm ready to make weight like usual.
Mhm.
And another thing is like some people like really want you to make weight, so they will like force it on you and like and make you make weight on the fight day. You know, one has this thing the way you
Okay.
make weight in the morning and you fight in the evening.
Yeah.
And so you gotta force it, and it's harder on your body when you do that though, because now one is actually trying to make you stay hydrated and make you lose weight. So what you're gonna do is like pretty much chug a lot of water and hold on to your pee, then
Mm.
cut all the weight, which is much more stressful on your body, you know.
Mm.
So I'm not like that. I think as soon as he fails once, now I'll just tell him no problem. We can make it a catch weight if you want it. You know, I'll be
Yeah.
good with that.
A true fighter. You gotta
Yeah,
you did a training camp. You went through everything, man. You gotta get in, step in there, and compete.
yeah, for sure.
Um, what is the plan, for you right now? It's going to be your last fight of the year. You got 2020 coming up. You got a new champ in the division. You've already
Yeah,
faced him, and I'm pretty
was
sure you're
all the
looking to
champ
work
already.
yourself up. Yeah,
Definitely. I
yeah,
fought pretty much all the champs already.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
so you need to work yourself back up so you could get these rematches, right? Like especially maybe a Kadestam rematch,
Yeah.
right?
Kadestam fight was close though. I had
Yeah.
a. Some people say it was good, but I still feel like the second round he got me good,
Hmm.
you know. But I think it would be good if I fight Kadestam again because I'm interested in fighting him. And I would also like to fight Tyler. Tyler is a good fight too.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Tyler because he hasn't
I
fought
think he got
since.
injured, and
Okay.
then now he's probably coming back. You know.
Okay. Well, I think either of those fights would be a good fight for your
Yeah,
first one in
definitely.
2020, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to rush the process again. You
Yeah.
know, I've been rushing it this year,
Mm.
and just looking forward to taking it slow next year a little bit. Start maybe like in mid of year or like maybe at April.
Do you want to take some time off and kind of let your body heal a little bit more and develop your
Definitely.
skill set and maybe work with some different coaches or travel or anything
Yes,
like that?
I'm actually looking to like take some time off first and then
Mm.
recover and then go and work. Find proper gyms to train first, like where I can go in and I know, oh, this place can be like how Martin Julian went to HardKnocks. You know, I was thinking about that as well.
Oh, so you've been kind of like peeping out some places where you can
Yeah,
kind of go visit for a couple
yeah.
days or a couple weeks or something like that?
No, maybe like do a whole camp there
Oh,
instead of like just staying in Malaysia all this time. Because like it, you can see every guy who's in the highest level have like a proper training camp. You know what I mean? And in Malaysia, I have a training camp, but not to say it's not proper, but it's like we train according to what we have.
mm,
We work with what we have. It's better if you have more things to work with.
yeah.
It's not nice if you only have to work with one thing.
Mm.
You know, like if I have two pens, I only can use two pens. But if I have 10 pens, I
Yeah.
can use one pen every day. and I
Yeah.
will never run out of ink, and I don't have to
Yeah.
change ink for like at least a whole year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
go to a gym bigger, better, and they have much more influence, it's always good to stay here when you don't have camp. You can work the things that you're supposed to work in. And when you have a camp, it's always good to go somewhere where they can give you the intensity, the work that you really need. So you make sure you did everything you're supposed to do during camp.
Are you looking at Hard Knocks? Are you looking at American Top Team or?
Actually, I spoke to HardKnocks a couple of
Okay.
times,
Oh.
and they like Angla told me like, "Hey, speak to us." And I think after this fight, I should probably speak to them.
Yeah.
If regardless of what the outcome is from my
Mm.
fight, I think I definitely have to speak because I'm fighting these high guys and I'm not getting the right outcome. So I think it's time to get a proper talk and get in the work. But at the same time, the risk of going to a bigger gym is always going to be higher of you getting injured.
Yeah.
Because when I started my career, I went to America and I started to train like in Team Quest and stuff. I was getting injured. But it's good though. In a way, you get injured and you toughen up as well. It's not like you get injured and then people start complaining. It's not like that. When you go to a bigger gym, people know what's professionalism. People will show up on time, regardless if you're injured or not. They're gonna help you make sure you get in the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like
Stuff like
they're a
this.
little bit more advanced with the recovery and
Yeah,
with the massages and Martin's doing all kinds of stuff. I watch his stories and he's
yeah,
over there like getting blood taken out and I think he's raw fig and like those cups. And do you do all
yeah.
those in Malaysia too?
Yeah, I do all those, but I don't do like the blood stuff. That's a little bit high advanced, I would say. But yeah, I'll do a lot of like recovery, like the Normatec boots. I do that too. We have it here in Malaysia. My sponsor, their name is Recovery Hub. They have this cryotherapy, Normatec, and all this stuff. They have all these things here. It's just I don't post because when I do it, I'm sleeping. It's so good.
Yeah, man. Well, what do you see happening in this fight coming up in
Well,
against
man, like
Karaki? What type of fight? You mentioned that he's a grappler, he's aggressive. Is that gonna play into your hands? Do you believe like a guy that's over aggressive?
I don't know. I fought guys who are over aggressive, and I fought guys who are really good, and I fought guys who are really technical. And I think I can say I'm like experienced, but at the same time, I cannot underestimate anyone else. I'm just looking forward to fighting the best Karaki there is. And yeah, man, every time you lose, you're gonna come back a little bit weaker in your head, but you're gonna be stronger somewhere when you dig in deep. So I think I'm just gonna go in that fight, digging in deep and pushing the pace. No, that's it. I'm gonna look forward to go to the ground, stand up, whatever it is. I gotta work.
All right,
War,
man. Well,
bro. That's what we want.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. December 6th, one championship
Yes.
mark of greatness.
Yes.
KL Malaysia. Thank you so much for the
Thank
time,
you,
man.
bro.
Definitely catch up afterwards and hopefully you
Yeah.
figure out where you're gonna go and I'm excited to see like your progression even after this fight to where you go somewhere else and
Thanks,
do your
bro.
camp.
You're awesome.